What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Action After episode. And this week, I'm sitting down and we're talking about Rankan's Action After item, which is honestly a perfect time for this time of the year as we're sitting down 20 days into the new year. His Action After item is to write down your goals. All right, now, as we look at this Action After, we're going to split it into two parts, and we're going to do something that's going to help us start to move the needle forward in our life. It's really interesting. I was listening to something the other day, and someone talked about this concept of learned helplessness. And what learned helplessness is, in a sense, is that when you get caught up in something so often, at some point you start to almost give up a little bit. And the reason that I bring that up is as we have this conversation, if you're listening to this live or even shortly after live, we are roughly almost 2 years into having COVID be around in our world. And for a lot of people, as COVID happened, right, first it was like, okay, it's going to be a few months. And then it was like, no, it's going to be a year. And then we got vaccines and it's like, it's going to go away. And all of a sudden it was like, nope, here's another one, another, strand. And we've kind of continued to be put back into this place of, hey, COVID's back, go back to, being virtual and not doing as much. And then we almost get free and then we go back. And it's this really interesting dynamic. And someone said the other day, which I thought was so interesting, that as some people have come into 2022, that many people probably haven't even written down as many New Year's goals because they've started to go, well, what's the freaking point at this point, right? If things are just going to get shut down, maybe the fitness goal isn't as important. Maybe the work goal isn't as important. Maybe the, whatever goals, dreams, aspirations you had are not as important because you've kind of got into this sort of COVID cycle, right? And hopefully you have not got to the place of learned helplessness. And if you have, today we're bringing you out of that. All right. So what we're going to be doing then for the first part of today's Action After item is, if you have it, get a pen and a notepad. If you don't, write it down in your notes on your phone. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to begin to ask yourself, what is a small goal that you want to achieve this year? All right. What's a small goal? Now, the reason that we want to build and write down a small goal is because really what you're doing is you write down this small goal, and there's a reason that we're doing it first, is you are building muscle, right? Now, if we said this is my big crazy goal, we may go, well, there's no way I can freaking achieve that. But if we do a small goal and we achieve it, essentially it's like we're getting a rep in the gym and going, wow, I just got a rep of accomplishing this goal that I had. Then we set another small goal, we accomplish that, and we begin to build confidence in our ability to achieve a goal, right? There's a quote, and it says, how do you eat an elephant? You do it one bite at a time. How do you eat an elephant? You do it one bite at a time. How do you achieve a massive goal? You do it one bite at a time. So the first thing you're going to write down, if you haven't already, is what's a small goal you want to achieve this year? Is it go and do travel a little bit? Is a small goal, and that could be traveling locally, right? Not traveling out of the country. That may be a bigger goal. Could another small goal be you want to, call your mom or dad or sibling once a month? Could another goal be that you want to get outside a few times throughout the day? Could another goal be, for a small goal, you get the point of where I'm going, find a small goal for yourself. All right, that's going to be number one. Now, obviously, after you've set this goal and written it down, what you can do to really make this more real is put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. Now, Rankan and I were talking about this in the episode, if you remember, but when you write a goal down, you are actually 50% more likely to achieve it. And if we get into the science here, one thing that's really interesting as you write goals down is what you're actually beginning to do as you write a goal down is you are beginning to activate something in your brain, in your mind, that's called the RAS, also known as the reticular activating system. And to give you a small taste of what this is, I want you to think about maybe a time when you wanted to get a new car. And let's say for simplistic manner, you were going to get a blue Honda Civic. And I want you to think of, for you, it might not have been a blue Honda Civic, but maybe you decided you want to get a car, you wanted to get a bike, or you wanted to achieve something. And to use the car as an example, let's say it was a blue Honda Civic. The moment you decided you wanted a blue Honda Civic, all of a sudden, everywhere you started seeing blue Honda Civics. And you were almost like are like blue Honda Civics a new trend? Did I miss out on this? Why are all these blue Honda Civics here? And the reality is it's not that the blue Honda Civics were not there before. It's that you were just not seeing them. Right? As a human, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of stimuli that happen in our every single day life. And what our RAS is designed to do is it's designed to help us find things that are important to us. So as soon as the blue Honda Civic became important to you, your RAS, your reticular activating system said, let me look for blue Honda Civics, and you started seeing them everywhere. So point being, when you write down this little goal that you have, really what you're doing is you are turning this ridiculously powerful force called the RAS system in your brain, in your mind, on. And it's going to help you get there faster. All right, so write the small one down. Put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. For me, I'm a sticky note guy. So I got sticky notes all over here. I'll share one with you that I actually wrote down about 2 months ago, and it's already started to manifest. And it actually came from a conversation Rankan and I had, which is really cool as well. And so the second part of the action after item is you are going to write down a 10x goal that you want to achieve this year. And I'm talking when you write this goal, I want you to write this goal and almost go, holy crap, there's no way I can achieve that. You heard me right. I want you to write down something that scares you. As my one of my old mentors, Darren Hardy, said, he said, you want to have large, hairy, scary, audacious goals, something like that. It was like, you want to have crazy goals. And so that's what we're going to do for the second one is write down what is a 10x goal that you could have that you want to achieve this year. And yes, when you write it down at first, the point is write it down and give yourself a little like, holy shit, right? Write it down, scare yourself. Someone said, if your goals are not scaring you, then your goals are not big enough. I think you get the point of where I'm going here. For the second part, write down a wild, wild goal, something you may not even believe possible at this point. Now, two things are going to happen when we do this. One, once you write this down, you are planting a flag in the ground. 50% of goals that are written down are more likely to be achieved, right? You are 50% more likely to achieve it. The second thing you do is, although it's this crazy, big, scary, insane goal that you're writing for yourself, is again, you are turning on that RAS, that reticular activating system, and you're going to start to bring things into your life to help you achieve that, even if you didn't think it was possible. All right, so to share with you how my RAS system started to work a little bit is I wrote down a crazy big goal for this year, and this will be the first time I'm actually sharing it, other than with my buddy at the coffee shop the other day. But the goal that I wrote down is in 2020, I want to write a best-selling book. All right, now I wrote this down originally 2 months ago. I put a sticky note. If you are watching us on YouTube, I will show you the sticky note. It says 2022, write a bestseller book. All right, so I wrote this down about 2 months ago, and about 2 weeks ago, I actually started building a really cool relationship with a real cool dude. You'll hear about him on a podcast he's got coming out soon called Zach Westerbeck is his name. And I made a connection with someone, and this person, coincidentally, had wrote a book and was willing to teach me how to do the same thing, right? So what I want you to understand is as soon as you write down this big crazy thing, crazy things will happen in your life to help you achieve this faster. All right, for me, one of my crazy big 10x, hairy, scary, audacious goals is to write a bestseller this year. I know I'm not a writer, but I got some stuff that can change people's lives in this world, and I'm going to be putting it out to the world. And this is officially as well, if you're listening to this podcast right now, the first time I officially am declaring this, other than to one other person the other day at a coffee shop. So please hold me accountable. I will let you know when it does come out. But point being is you got to set some big goals for yourself, some 10x goals, some goals that make you go, holy crap, I don't know if I could do that, because it's going to force you to stretch yourself. And it's also going to make you start to see things differently in the world. And honestly, if you write it down, you put it on a sticky note, I would promise you that things are going to start to come into your life that are going to help you to achieve that. All right. We have wickedly powerful brains and minds. And when you write something down as a goal, you will begin to see the power that you have within yourself that you may have never even known about. All right, so that's going to be the action after this week, my friends. Number 1, write down a small goal you want to accomplish this year. Number 2, write down a big goal you want to accomplish this year. All right, now, for those of you that are joining us, whether you're here for a long time or a little time, one last thing I would ask is if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a rating. Also, go subscribe to the podcast so we can bring you wisdom, nuggets, knowledge, fire every single week here on the podcast. And last, if you know a friend that you think this could help, simply share the episode with them, and I would be eternally, eternally, eternally grateful to you. All right, so that's all we got for the episode this week. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day, a phenomenal rest of your week, and I will talk to you on the podcast soon. Take care, everybody.